American. Up to the line, and we race. Perfect start from the Italian, Freddie Slater for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, slides in behind. Fantastic start by the Oak Man. The Belgian goes position 3. The OTK carts 1, 2, 3, 4. Eichmans goes defensive on the outside of him. It's Tuukka Tappinen. Coluccio puts the blind down on the radiator. Slater in second place, one of the favourites for this race this afternoon, but Coluccio's got a nice lead. Slater sideways. Here come the Forza Racing team, they attack. Gustav Wisniewski in 228. The pole has been lightning quick the entire week here at Lonato. Coluccio up onto 3 wheels as the kart jacks. The OTK carts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Tony carts 1, 3 and 4. Coluccio across the line for the first time. Back to Slater, Eichmans, that's James in P4. And then the pole set at the fastest qualifier. Matthias Verheerder, P5. In the Kart Republic, behind him is Joel Bergstrom, Akshay Bora. As James, the American, dives down the inside, the WSK Open Cup champion from 2021 from Florida, USA. He's up into 3rd place. Eichmans under attack from the South American, Matthias Verheerder. As Coluccio weaves it through the chicane on still a cold circuit. They are still on cold look-on tyres. Slater's coming for him though. Disappointing run in the pre-final this morning. He was in the grass off the start, pushed out wide. Has recovered though, he's in 2nd place. The field settles down on the 2nd lap of the race. Coluccio, Slater, Agozzi, Eichmans, Verheerder. Then we go to Joel Bergstrom, under attack from the American Singaporean Akshay Bora. Behind him, Gustav Wisniewski, the pole making the move into the pit hairpin. Ahead of Tuukka Tappinen, the reigning world champion, has fallen back to P9 ahead of Bertucca. Popov, Deligny, Lucas Almalisto. Joseph Turney, well, he's proven me wrong. He was absolutely dynamite throughout the heats. Often coming from 9th, 10th on the grid to be in the top 3 within the first few corners. JT back in 14th, ahead of Pashovic, Severukin, De Paulo and David Walter. The race settles down. Coluccio with 4/10 of a second over Fast Freddy. Here's James Agozzi in P3. Eichmans in P4, Joel Bergstrom showing a good turn of speed for the Forza Racing team. The GFR-tuned TM-powered Esprit is in 5th place. Verheerder's dropped back to 6th. There's Eichmans in the 250 kart on his 14th birthday, as we mentioned, as Verheerder has a big look at the back of the suite. Joel Bergstrom. Slater, who was over in the Middle East at the Dubai Kartdrome testing the all-new Lando Norris kart with his younger brother Alfie, who moves up to the junior class for the first time this weekend, along with Lando, who consistently escapes the miserable English winter and spends much of the New Year break over at the Dubai Kartdrome. The team, David Bright and all the staff there in the Middle East, hosting the RFM drivers, Lando, Freddie and Alfie. As Freddie looks back behind him, he's pulled away from James Agozzi. Fastest driver on the circuit is Freddie at the moment in 227, 46.724 on the back of Coluccio. James with Eichmans right behind, then Gustav Wisniewski. Goes slightly defensive, does Coluccio. Slater will get a better run into the final corner, which is coming up right now. Now he'll get the slipstream, the toe down the straight as they start lap 6, 21 of 21. The final of the first round of the WSK Supermaster Series. They race down in that ferociously fast turn 1 and 2 here at Lonato. Slater just shadows him. That's the American Agozzi in the background. Eichmann still one step off the podium. Slater close to the back of the Italian. They race down the hill. They're pulled away from James, Ian and Gustav, who is ominously up into position 5. Into the pit hairpin, is close enough to make a move, but thinks better of it at this stage of the race. Fast Freddy, the 2020 Junior World Champion. The Ricky Flynn Motorsport team just fights the wheel on the exit there. There is James Agozzi from Florida, USA. The same state on the other side of the Atlantic, which is hosting the Daytona 24-hour race this weekend, taking place as we speak. As Coluccio now puts his foot down, a 46.420. There's Gustav for Forza Racing. Ahead of Tuka Tappen and Akshay Bora, Christian Bertuca, Delini Popov, JT up into P11. Rashid ahead of Orloff, that was Simone Bianco. And Harley Keatsy Keeble from the back of the grid. He's up to P22. First time out for the English driver with the Birrell Art Racing team for 2022. A purple sector from Gustav. The pole in P5, but goes faster than anybody in the middle sector of that lap. There he is for Forza Racing. Coluccio settles into a comfortable lead here. Slater needs to attack, or Coluccio may well drive away with this. Lives just a few hundred meters from the La Conca Muro Lucchese World Circuit, where we race round 3 of the WSK Supermaster Series on the 6th of March. The most beautiful circuit in the world, which now hosts a swimming pool and beach complex in the pits. That's where we race in just over a month's time. Back here in 2 weeks for round 2 of the Supermaster Series. And of course, the series final on March 13th at Sarno at the foot of the still active volcano that is Mount Vesuvius. Coluccio, Slater, James Agozzi, last year's WSK Open Cup champion, is in third. Gustav has gone by Ian for 4th place. Wisniewski is lighting up the timing screen. There is the sprint for Jamie Croxford's Forza Racing team. Eichmans in the familiar fluorescent yellow Arrow helmet for Speedway.be jumps forward in the seat. Son of former Indianapolis 500 racer Wim. His father, his mentor here at the circuit. Of course, Wim racing in the 1999 greatest spectacle in racing. That was the Indy 500 for the Belgian. Speaking of which, we welcome Emerson Fittipaldi to the circuit as well, the 2-time Indy 500 winner and 2-time Formula One Grand Prix world champion here at the track as well for the first round of the WSK Supermaster Series, which is still being led by Coluccio. Slater at this stage has not got an answer. There's James, there's Gustav, there is Ian, and Tuka Tappen and 201 starting to recover. Akshay Bora is ahead of Christian Bertuca, Delini, and Maximilian Popov, second on the podium last week in the WSK Champions Cup. The boy from Sochi in the south of Russia for Ward Racing is up into P10. 8 less than he was 7 days ago. Coluccio, a fine drive in the lead. Tappinen trying to attack Eichmans. There's Popov in the background. We go back to the leaders as we approach half race distance, the final round 1 of the 2021 championship. Popov, turning Severukian as well. Matias Ferreira, the boy from Brazil, the boy from Grid 2, has fallen back through the field. He's into 13th, 1 ahead of Alex Powell, who's come storming through the pack. Alex Powell, the Jamaican, the Mercedes-AMG Junior, he's carving through the field like a hot knife through butter. Alex Powell, who started grid 29, is up into 14th place. Head of David Walter, Karol Pashovic, and Matteo De Paolo. Alex Powell is now behind Matias Ferreira, the fastest qualifier. The green team lead here with Luigi Coluccio. Moves over from the now disbanded Cosmic Racing Department. And he's in P1. Fastest driver again is Gustav Wisniewski, 46.172. He's 0.3 of a second faster than the race leader. He's gone through to position 3. Gustav takes James, the Floridian, back to 4. There's James in 4th place as Gustav comes down the hill. Wisniewski is absolutely flying. The fastest driver on the track is actually Matias Ferreira, who's put in a 46.137, but it may well be too little, too late for the Brazilian. Half race distance, we've passed it now. 9 laps remaining. Coluccio is pulling away 0.6 of a second from fast Freddie Slater. From the Midlands of England, not too far from the Donington Park Grand Prix circuit, for the Lando Norris Ricky Flynn Motorsport team in 2nd place as the rest of the field go through. Bertuca has gone by Eichmans. Delini, Popov is up to 9, and JT from MK in P10. Coluccio slides down through the chicane. There is Wisniewski flying. His left James behind. Agotzi back to P4. Wisniewski from Poland, P3. Slater from the Queen's England in second place. But it's the homeboy, Luigi Coluccio, who leads now with 8 laps remaining. He pulls away, 0.7 of a second. Slater has got no answer for the Italian at the moment. Luigi Coluccio, at the moment, leads the championship. 90 points to 46 to Slater. Still 3 rounds remaining after this one. It's looking good for the Italian. There is Wisniewski down the hill. He may well be too far back. Got just over 7 laps to catch Slater and Coluccio. He's 2.8 seconds behind the Englishman. Freddie's losing time. Here comes Gustav for Forza Racing. Behind him, Agotzi, Tappinen, Bertuca, Eichmanns, Deligny, Popov, and JT in 10. Eichmanns get very close to the back of Christian Cannibal Bertuca. Trying to respond is the Belgian on the Italian. 9/10 of a second. Coluccio is pulling away. We can hear them cheering from the town of Maglie. Their boy in P1. Father Cesar, Mother Laura, and his sisters, Helena and Alexa, watching Luigi pull away in the final quarter of this race here at Lonato. The sun is shining. We're up to 10 degrees Celsius. The action on track is as hot as ever. Coluccio, 9/10 of a second, make that 1 second dead. Slater is losing time to the Italian. Luigi's got this in the bag. Comes over from the Cosmic Racing Department to the green team. First time out for the Tony Kart Racing team. He's in position 1. He started on pole position. Matthias Verheer alongside. He's faded back to 11th place. Down the hill with 5.5 laps remaining. Wisniewski driving the wheels off the 228 Xpree in 3rd place. It's an OTK 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the moment. Tony Kart, Lando Norris, Xpree, Tony Kart and Tony Kart. That's the top 5. And then we go to Christian Bertuca in the Birol Art. There is the Italian across the line. Eichmanns has now been passed also by Enzo Deligny. 9/10 of a second. Slater, one last crack at victory in round 1 of the WSK Supermaster Series. Slater takes a 1/10 of a second out of Coluccio that time, who's just controlling the pace. Four laps remaining, exactly 5 kilometres of the Lonato circuit for the tough young Italian. Made a couple of one-off appearances in the Italian Sports Car Championship at Misano last year. You can see him reach down, open up the mixtures on the Idea carburetor, feeding the Vortex 125cc engine, which is bouncing off the 16,000 RPM rev limiter. Still 9/10 of a second. There's Wisniewski, superb in 3rd. Agotzi 4, and Tuka Tappinen P5. A nail-biting finish coming up. Can Luigi hold on? Or will Slater do something magical in the remaining 3.5 laps? There's Agotzi, Tappinen, Bertuca, Deligny, Eichmanns, Severukin, Joseph, Verheer, and then Alex Powell in P12. Wisniewski too far back with 3 laps remaining. The gap is 2.6 seconds between Gustav and Freddie, with 3.5 kilometres to race. Round 1, the WSK Supermaster Series for 2022. Coluccio from pole position leads. The gap comes down a 1/10 of a second, but I'd suggest to you that Coluccio is controlling the pace. We saw him reaching up the mixture on the carby just a few moments ago, the Idea carburetor. Just trying to bring it home. We've had a couple of freak engine failures this week, possibly put down to the cold weather here in the north of Italy. Luigi cannot afford anything like that. The green team are a crack, world-class outfit. And with 2 laps to go, Freddie will see if he can bridge anything. Down the straight, 8/10 of a second, just a single 10th. drifts it into turn 1 and 2. Slater over the ripple strip, head down behind the steering wheel of the all-new Lando Norris kart, making its European race debut here this weekend with the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team. Coluccio down the hill for the penultimate time. 2:02 for the Tony Kart Racing team. Slater in second. Can't do anything about the pole sitter, the Italian, who is about to get the last lap board. 1.2 kilometers to victory. Ultimo giro per Coluccio. Looks over his left shoulder. It's a long way back. It's 1 second back to Slater. There's Wisniewski, Tappanen, Agati, Bertuca, Deligny, Severukin, Eichmans, and JT in P10. Skates under brakes. This is the last lap of the race. A perfect textbook drive. An incredible debut for the Tony Kart Racing team. He races down the hill for the final time, chokes the engine. 3 corners between himself and the checkered flag. From pole position on debut with the Tony Kart Racing team. Into the final corner, that checkered flag is about to wave. Round 1 of the WSK Supermaster Series goes to Luigi Coluccio. Takes a spectacular victory here at South Garda Karting. Slater home in second place, and the pole Gustav Wisniewski for Forza Racing home in third. Coluccio wins round 1 of the WSK Supermaster Series with a perfect drive from pole position.